So I'm just using this comment to kind of answer some questions and things. Please don't go after this person. They obviously don't understand animal anatomy, so don't hold it against them, please. First of all, I don't do commissions. These are also not for sale. I do have tutorials in my playlist if you want to go check those out to make your own. I've seen some people who have made some. Those look awesome. So glad that I could help in some way. I hope more people continue to make them. They're really cool. So they're also not masks. They're kind of not built to be worn. These are also not dragon puppets, even though they do share similarities in that one side has, you know, flesh and all that other stuff, and then the opposite side is very different from that. This is actually what we call in the scientific community comparative anatomy, where one side, the skeleton or skull, is exposed, and then the opposite side has all of the flesh and skin and feathers and whatnot, so that you can look at the two sides and compare the two, and then use those in anatomical studies. The two heads were basically built so that the research and studies that I was doing could be applied and see how well the lip study that I was working on would work in relation to the animal's anatomy of the skull. So far they seem like they're working pretty well. I used Nanotyrannus and Utah Raptor because mainly Utah Raptor has very unique dentary, and I just wanted to see how well my findings from Nanotyrannus and other Tyrannosaurids worked in relation to other theropod dinosaurs. I'll probably be applying this to other paleo art reconstructions that I'll be doing in the near future. The reason that they're half and half is because when I was doing my research, I was able to attain some waterfowl heads that I cleaned and preserved, and I cut the bill down the middle and did half and half, where one side was skeletal and the other side still had the flesh, and then I would candlelight that so I could see the neurovascular system inside, and then took notes on that, because at the time I didn't have access to the paper that went over the anatomy, so I just did my best with that, and then eventually I was able to attain that paper and then cite it in my own studies. The paper I was writing was before the whole lip study came out, which was, did theropod dinosaurs have lips, or did they have exposed teeth like a crocodile? Obviously they would have had lips. Now, did they have reptile lips, or did they have something similar to what waterfowl had? And that's what my paper went over. When the lip study came out, it basically solidified what I had already gathered about the lip structure on theropod dinosaurs, but obviously it went in a different direction. If you want to go read up on this study, I'll have it posted here in the comment section, and you can go look at that. This is obviously not a published paper. I would love to have it published one day. It would be great, but I do not have the money. I don't have the money to hire an editor. I also don't have the education to be able to write one properly. I could copy somebody else's, but that's a little harder for me because of my learning disabilities, and I like to use a lot of visual aids just because it's easier for me to get my point across, and a lot of papers have really limited amount of images you can use in a published paper, so a lot of restrictions for me at that point. Yeah, these heads are basically years and years of research and study to come up with how they look as they do. This study started back in 2018. It sucks it'll never get published, but you know, what can you do? I'm just glad that you guys enjoy these heads and you enjoy the work that I do. I do plan to have some more paleo art and reconstructions coming out, but in the meantime, I appreciate you guys being here and enjoying these things, so